I came to tell you, absolutely, the Trinity Inspirational Choir. Hey, welcome everyone to the Boomerang Radio Show, coming to you each and every Sunday right here on this network, 3 p.m. on the West Coast and 6 p.m. on the East. And I see two of my panelists here. I see Mad Mike on the West Coast, or from the West Coast, brother. Hey, Mad Man, how are you?
I'm doing spectacular as always, William. How are you?
I'm terrific. I'm terrific, my friend. Yes, I had to play a little inspirational music. I did that for Ann. Oh, we lost Ann just now. She'll be back. That was one of my favorites. That's one of my favorite gospel songs these days. Love that song.
Can you tell me what he's saying? A line in there, and I can't tell exactly what he's saying, but something in the water.
Yeah, I stepped in the water. Yeah, I stepped in the water. I stepped in the water. The water was cold. It chilled my body, but not my soul.
Go back and forgive me for bringing this up, but go back and listen to it again, because on my end it sounds like I had sex in the water.
And Mike,
that's what I'm being dead serious here. I was listening. I said, "This is a gospel song," and he's talking about sex in the water. It's like, okay.
I stepped in the water, Mike.
All right.
Mike.
Well, that's why I'm asking.
Okay. I think you're getting the show confused with Coast to Coast on Thursdays. No. Oh my goodness. Oh my. So how's your week, my friend?
My week's been fine. Not to make this a personal thing here, but Chrissy, you know who Chrissy is, she texted me this morning. She's not feeling well, and so she's currently in the hospital.
Oh no.
Yeah. Oh no is right. Very worried about that gal.
I'm gonna have to send her a text message or something. Give her a call. Is she up for a phone call?
I think so, because they admitted her. They've done a bunch of tests. So far, all the tests are coming back negative. She just felt really weak and a little dizzy, and just didn't feel well. Didn't feel like herself. And it's been going on for a couple of days. So I think since Friday, she told me. So she thought she probably should go get it checked out. So she did, which I'm happy. I praised her for doing that instead of just waiting. So
right.
I put a text out to her a few minutes ago about, hey, what's the latest? How are you feeling? So maybe she gets back to me during the show here. But
I hope she does. Yeah. I hope she does. And if you get a chance, just tell her that I've been asking about her, and wish her the best. Wish her the best. Yeah, absolutely. That's Ann Taylor. There she is. Hey, my friend.
Hey,
back.
I'm having trouble with StreamYard. Sorry, guys.
Oh, that's okay. I was playing one of my favorite gospel songs, right? I came to tell you about the Trinity Inspirational Choir. I put that on for you, and then we lost you.
Yeah, it kicked me out. I couldn't see you guys or anything, and then all of a sudden it just booted me completely off. So but I had trouble logging into it too. So I don't know what's going on, but I'm glad I'm here. So how y'all doing?
Oh, we're doing great. Mike, oh my God. You have to talk to our friend Mike. I played the song and he mistook one of the lyrics, part of the song. You know, when I stepped in the water was cold, it chilled my body, but not my soul.
Right.
Yeah, right.
So what do you
Mike,
was the confusion?
Do you want to say what you said?
Yes, I will. So, and forgive me, I'm being dead serious, because I was sitting there listening to it, and obviously it's a gospel song. I'm listening to it. Something in the water, something. What is he saying? And I swear I thought he was saying I had sex in the water. Go back and listen to it.
It just reminds me of when I was a kid growing up in the country church in the South, and they used to say, "Please, sir," so quickly when they were praying. It sounded like they were saying Lisa. Please, sir. And I was like, why are they talking to my sister? We supposed to be talking to Jesus right now. So I completely get it. It happened. You're not the only one.
I told Mike, I said, he must think that this is Coast to Coast. It comes on Thursdays, right? Oh,
Hey,
that's when
it
all the
happens.
shenanigans happen. But yes, 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 yes. Hey, guys, hey, welcome. This is the Boomerang. We've got a lot to uncover today. Uh, Boy, this has been let's say, a crazy, crazy year.
Yeah.
And we're only, we're only 2 months into the year. I mean, shucks. Well, last year was crazy enough, and this one,
Yeah.
when you said things can't get any crazier, and
Who told you
oops,
that?
there it is. Oh, there it is. There it
Right.
is. Unbelievable. Yes. I'm going to
Excuse me.
I'm gonna play a clip. Oh, before we do that, and you had an amazing show yesterday. You had Prophet Yari on yesterday. You want to tell the audience a little bit about that before I pull up this clip?
Oh yeah, it was really fun. Prophet Yari, he has an extended play as well as an ebook by the same title, called Oracle of God. And so we were talking about his new EP and ebook, and it was just fun. We had a good time discussing it, and of course he's a Michael B. Jordan lookalike, and his wife had him all decked out, y'all. It was nice, but we had a good time. It was a really fun interview. If you get to catch the replay, you should, because Oracle of God and the other music that we played on the show, because William played like two other songs that he has. It's very, very good gospel music. Well, some of it was gospel, some of it was gospel hip hop. He flows in different genres of gospel music, which is awesome. He can sing just as well as rap, so it was an awesome treat to listen to his music and get to know him. But at the same time, it was a blessing to hear his music, because his music really is anointed.
Yes, yes. And I want to thank the lady songbird Jenda Harris, because I
Yeah.
was first introduced to him by her. And
Yeah.
she has, as a matter of fact, she has introduced us to a lot of artists. And we've had
Mhm.
a few of them there, Southern Soul and blues artists. And she's had them on her show, which comes on, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to talk to an artist, or listen to an artist who's in the industry right now. She's full-time in the industry. An amazing, and you can, and Mike can attest to this, and our audience can, those who have heard it before. She has a show called Soul to Soul Sit Down with the latest songbird, Jenda Harris, that comes on
Mhm.
Thursdays right there on this network. And I want to invite you guys, like we have our audience, oh God, it's fast. And we're growing, and thank you so much for that. Facebook, we're on
Mhm.
LinkedIn, we're on YouTube, and you can go to Studio W The Buzz. Studio W The
Mhm.
Buzz. That's our fan page on Facebook, and also our page on YouTube, Studio W
Mhm.
The Buzz. LinkedIn is Studio W Buzz, but also take our app with you, because we're not always on our social media platforms, but we're always on our app, which is Studio W. If you have an Apple device, just go to your Apple App Store and download Studio W. Google, Android devices, just go to your Play Store and download Studio W. And always on the website. And guys, the greatest thing about this, you can be in the United States or outside the United States. Anywhere in the world, you can hear us. Anywhere that's not in a war right now, probably. And we'll get
That's not at a
and
that's
we'll get
not at war.
that.
That's
Yeah.
uh,
Oh boy, it
that's
seems like the world is on fire. It's understand there are conflicts all over the globe. We can go
yeah.
south of the border. We can go down to Venezuela. Uh, there's outbreaks there. I mean, well, of course, we attacked Venezuela.
Mhm.
And I just want to say this: when you're hearing something that comes out of Washington D.C., especially the White House, and there's a conflict, or there's something that happens, that
Mhm.
it seems like and you can check me if you want, it's never what or the reason why they say it is. It's always something different. And so, confidence in this regime, uh, in this administration, and you could say, well, look, we all politicians lie. Yeah, most of them do. Most of them do, and we fall for it. But the thing about it is, more than anything I've ever seen before, you can't believe anything. And I think that as the American public, we deserve to know the truth. Hey, Dr. Sims, thank you so much for joining
Hey,
us.
lady, how are you?
Hey, everybody. Hi.
And
Hey.
I want to thank you. Dr. Sims was on with me, and you were out taking care of your mother last week. And Mike we had just finished Mike was just coming out of a celebration of life service for his brother, who was also a friend of mine that passed
So
away.
sorry.
So Mike took off, and so was Dr. Sims and I, and Dr. Ratcliffe.
Oh, yeah.
Thoroughly enjoyed it. We had a ball. I had a good time. And Dr. Sims, I don't want to speak for you, but I thought you had a good time as well. Dr. Ratcliffe, he is a gem,
Yes,
a
he
wealth
is.
of knowledge, and we hear about things that goes on over the airways, over TV, and it's hard these days with so much misinformation, disinformation. It's to decipher what is true. And so
Right.
Dr. Ratcliffe is right there, ground level. He's out there in the streets. He knows what's going on there. Obviously, he and his wife, I believe it's his wife, founded the Freedom Library in Minnesota. St. Paul, I believe, St. Paul, Minnesota. But he's a historian, just a great, great gentleman. Humble man, just
Yeah.
down there. I just love him. He's a great, great guy.
Did
But
he
anyway,
say they gotten better there, or were they still?
well, that's the question I asked. And I said, wow, I understand that things have calmed down there quite a bit. And he said, well, not really.
Mm,
So they have withdrawn some troops, but they are still there committing what I would say crimes against American citizens. He says it's still going on there. There's still things. And what he and the community they are doing, they are getting together, coming together and supporting one another. And he said that is a very positive thing, that people are coming together, looking out for one another, whether it's escorting kids to school, making sure that the people are safe, providing food and shelter and things of that nature. So as a community, they are coming together, and they're doing this in temperatures unbelievable.
I know, right? It is way too cold up there. Ooh, I mean, for them to be out protesting and all the stuff that they've been doing in really dangerous temperatures. I mean, that lets you know how serious it is, and how serious they are about standing against dictatorship, autocracy, whatever you want to call it. It is very heartening to see the true American spirit at work in the people of Minnesota. It really is.
I have to agree with that 100%. That is true. The true American spirit where we come together. Remember when we had 9/11 and when our country was attacked.
For a few minutes,
New York City.
everybody was just happy to be American for a few minutes.
We came together.
Yeah, for a few
We came
minutes.
together.
For a few
Does it
minutes.
take tragedies for us to come together?
No.
But it should be something that it shouldn't. And so that's why, if I see a feel good story, I send that out to you guys as well, because I love feel good stories, and it's not enough feel good stories to go around these days that we know about.
Yeah.
And so anytime we see one, I think it's important that we share it. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, the giant elephant, if you want to call it an elephant or bomb in the room, is, well, if you unless you've been asleep for the last 48 hours or so, you don't know that the United States attacked Iran.
Along with Israel.
And,
yeah.
along with Israel. And so I'm going to give my comments after I play this clip because I think the question I want to ask, have we learned anything? What happened in Iraq? Have we learned anything yet? It makes no sense to me at all that we are doing this. How much did it cost? Well, not only monetarily, but more importantly, lives. And we've already lost, as far as I know, 3 American soldiers and 5 are seriously injured. And this just happened in the last few hours or so. So anyway, let's do this. Be right back.
There will likely be more. Before it ends, that 3 U.S. military service members have been killed in action. And sadly, there will likely be more. Before it ends, that's the way it is.
All right, we have some disturbing news.
That's the way it is? Are you serious right now?
From the President of the United States, who just had to openly acknowledge in a dark and menacing video that more U.S. troops are likely to die from our strikes against Iran and the subsequent retaliations from Iran, which have escalated tensions all throughout the Middle East. Iran has struck U.S. airbase after U.S. naval base after Israeli base in an attempt to inflict maximum damage, because what they're trying to do, what Iranians are trying to do, is teach the United States a lesson. Before we jump into this clip of Donald Trump openly acknowledging what many experts feared, that troops are likely to die, American casualties are likely to climb, let's start off with this thread that really perfectly breaks down how Donald Trump is in a very tight position. Tehran is not looking for a ceasefire and just rejected a ceasefire from Donald Trump. The reason is that they believe they committed a mistake by agreeing to a ceasefire back in June, about 7 or 8 months ago, because that only enabled and emboldened the U.S. and Israel to restock and remobilize to launch war again. If Iran agrees to a ceasefire now, they'll only be attacked again in a few months. It's kind of a similar dynamic that you see with Ukraine. Ukraine is repeatedly attacked by Russia, and any sort of ceasefire that they do is just another chance for Russia to rearm and attack again. So this has led to Iran striking U.S. bases throughout the Middle East and getting very, very clean hits, unfortunately. An Iranian ballistic missile just hit the Jerusalem area. Usually there is very good defense being put up from these countries, but right now, Iran is overwhelming them. Iran is just striking and striking in order to inflict maximum damage.
So let me give you 3 numbers: 28, 99, and 100.
Let's get rid of that. Okay. Bear with me. Okay. Okay. All right. So anyway, moving right along. We just lost 3 soldiers, and there are 5 that are seriously wounded. And right now, we don't know what the count is because that came out several hours ago. And so, you know, there's an old saying, do not stir a beehive. And Iran and a lot of those Middle Eastern countries, if they die, they declare that if you die in an act of defending your country, you go into what they call it, you're a martyrdom. And it's a shield of honor or a badge of honor for them to die for their country. And they have no problem, just like they struck us back in 9/11, 2000, what was that, 2001, I believe that happened? I'm not exactly sure. I think it was 2001. But anyway, yes, they will take revenge out. And you don't know, and we don't know how many sleeper cells are here in the United States. How many sleeper cells? Do you remember what happened in New York? I mean, when they took down those towers, right today, I cannot watch a movie about 9/11 because I trained in those buildings. And the building that I had my classroom, the plane went right through that particular area. And I saw on TV people jumping out. I've been in those buildings. They were absolutely magnificent. people jumping out of buildings. They jumped out of buildings. They keep from getting burned up. And I thought over and over again, what would I have done if I were in that situation? I don't know. So I think it was a mistake. Let's go around. Let's go around the table here. I want to start with you, and your takes on this, your thought about this, because you have some Americans right now say, yeah, we attacked Iran. But I want to ask those same people, do you have any of your family members in the military right now? Are their lives at risk right now? Okay, and then let's go to Dr. Sims, and then Mike, and then I'll come back.
Well, on the one hand, I feel really sorry for the people in Iran, because it feels like, to me, and this is just my personal opinion, that they're sort of being used as pawns. A lot of the people in Iran, I don't know if you all saw the interview that they did. There were like 3 people who managed to escape, and only one of them would conduct the interview with his face shown. That's how scared the other 2 still are. But they said they protested because they believe that Trump was going to, they were like, well, the U.S. will strike them if they do something to us, so we can go out and we can protest. And so many thousands of people have died. It's like, and he didn't strike them then while he was killing them. He waited until now to do it. And it's amazing that now that we've got all this information, more information out about the Epstein files and his name being in it over and over and over again, not to mention the fact that some evidence has come up missing from about him being with a 13 or 14-year-old girl, and that suddenly all that stuff is gone, which is what we knew they were going to do. We knew that they needed the time to scrub the files as much as possible, and then they incompetently did that too. But at any rate, this is just another way to deflect against that. And not only is it a deflection against that, it's a testing round. I mean, we'll see how long he keeps this up, and I wouldn't be surprised if he kept it up long enough to claim that there shouldn't be an election in November. I think it's just a test to see how much he can push the limits, because if he can get it to work this time around, then great. He's got his solution to how to stay in power. If not, then he knows, okay, that didn't work, I'll try my next idea that I have. So I don't think he really cares anything about the people of Iran. I think basically it's just smoke and mirrors to deflect attention from his wrongdoing. Because if you really cared about those people being able to peacefully protest, you wouldn't be doing what you've done to people in California, what you've done to people in Minnesota and other places in the United States. I mean, it's the height of hypocrisy. To say you want to support them in their right to protest, in their fight for freedom. No, he doesn't care anything about that. So I really do wish the best for the people of Iran. I just don't think the person that they are counting on is the one that they can trust to bring what they're hoping about.
Well, I tell you, the tragedy there is not only have we lost so far three soldiers, but we also attacked a school there that killed 50 Iranian girls, students, and injured another 60.
Do you know that to be true?
I know what I've heard, and I've heard it from several different sources. Hold on. No, we don't know anything. Actually, Mike, that's a good point. Do I know that to be true? Well, I know what isn't true is what he's been telling us, and his reason for. Hold on. You asked the question. his reason for telling us what he's done, but it has been reported along with 3 soldiers. Okay, do we know that whether that's true or not? Well, I'm going to take that's what's been reported over several networks that we lost 3 soldiers. I'm going to take it over, but those same networks, not only just one, independent sources, and also our national media or our mainstream media has been reported on this as well. That 50 Iranian girls were slaughtered in this attack right here, and the United States says, "Oh, that wasn't our intention to do that." So I don't know any more than anybody else know. All I know is what's being reported, and it's been checked over one source. I'm not just getting that off of CNN. I didn't get it off of CNN. I didn't get it off of MSNBC. I've been going to more independent sources that don't have a dog in the fight, or that's not trying to manipulate us. So to answer your question, I know what I've heard over several different networks that I trust. Several different networks.
Let me explain why I asked the question. I am asking the question because if our government says our soldiers got killed, the chances are pretty heavily that that's accurate information if we're admitting that our soldiers got killed. So I don't have a big question mark there. With regard to these children being killed, there's 2 things that haunt me about this. Who's giving out that news? Is it Iran to make the U.S. look bad? You're over here killing kids in our country. So where is that news coming from? And you said something about the U.S. said that it was a mistake, which would be admitting some guilt there. I haven't heard that. I have not heard that. I've heard that supposedly kids were killed, and I'm going to speculate that information is coming from what's left of the Iranian government, because they're not going to put out good news towards America. They're going to put out all as extremely bad news they possibly can, and so I really doubt the authenticity of that and the accuracy of those children being killed. Who's there that's telling the truth that saw this happen? Because nobody in the right mind that's not Iranian is in Iran right now. So that's why I'm asking the question, because who's telling this story and is it accurate? That's the reason I asked the question.
Well, I believe that is true. I believe that's true. And it came from the same sources that I got the same information about our soldiers being killed. So, like I said, none of us are there. Out of the 4 of us, none of us are there. We're not on the ground checking. And so we have to go on sources. So what I do is that I'll listen to one source and I'll listen to another source. And I've heard this from 3 or 4 different sources. Okay. Not Fox News, not CNN or MSNBC or any of those guys right there. But I believe that it is true. And like I said, that I did hear the disclaimer that says, okay, it was an accident. Well, see, the thing about it is, and I'm going to go to you, Dr. Sims, and you can and have your take on this, is that this is the problem. There was a scheduled negotiations that was supposed to take place on Monday, this coming Monday. And from the information I heard, more than one source, is that Iran had agreed initially, they will not develop a nuclear bomb. Okay, they will not develop a nuclear bomb, and so the negotiations were supposed to be taking place on Monday. Okay, this coming Monday, to finalize the deal or continue the negotiations there. Yet we bombed this on Saturday instead of living up to our word, saying, okay, we'll sit down with you. And keep in mind, there was a deal with Iran. President Obama initiated a deal with Iran, a nuclear arms deal, that Iran had agreed not to develop nuclear weapons, and Trump came and tore it up. Why did he tear it up? And so why, along with Israel and Netanyahu, is he doing this? Okay, and I'm gonna go back. I want Dr. Sims to jump in now, and I have to agree with Ann. This is another deflection, another detraction that he wants us to look over here when actually what's happening is over there. Because remember, he said back in June that they had destroyed all of Iran's capabilities of building a nuclear weapon because we struck them. Okay? All right. Well, if that is true, then why are you bombing them now? Because it's not about that. It never was about that. It's about regime change. And he had much, it came out of his lips also. Came out of his lips. Dr. Sims, your take on this whole mess.
Ooh, hi, everybody. I'm
Hey,
glad
lady.
to see you. Glad to be back. Mike, sorry for your loss.
Appreciate it.
Praying for you and your family. I my take is very strong in what's going on and in a manipulation of diversion when it comes to what they want you to focus on. I've been listening to various things, and I happened to look up, and it says, and I asked, why did Trump, I said, why did Trump start the war, which he did not. It said, based on report February 28th, March 1, based on this report, President Trump, in a joint operation with Israel, ignited a major military attack on Iran, resulting in the death of a supreme leader, as we know, and I can't pronounce his name. This action aimed at Iran's leadership and infraction has been described as the initiation of a new direct conflict. Now, I have a problem when somebody tells me I'm going to teach you a lesson. I think, and somebody said that. My thing is somebody going to teach me a lesson, then I'm going to arm up, okay, period. And I'm going to take it like that. And I think there's a lot of hypocrisy going on, whether people want to believe it or not, or they co-sign with each other. I'm a novice at some of this stuff because I don't get enamored with what's going on in the news. I do care about what's going on in the United States. And I also do care about what's going on behind the scenes. During my sabbatical time, I stepped back and took a reflection on a lot of things. A lot of people don't like what I have to say, but oh well, I'm at this persuasion in my life, William, Ann, and Mike. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. And I do realize people will give you what they call facts for you to believe something to keep you in an uproar and think in a certain way. I do know stories of manipulation. I do know lies, and they're coming from everywhere. I do know what hatred is, and hatred will make you be so blind on an individual. You're apt to believe everything that you hear about anyone. And this is what I have visualized these past few months. I am not keen into politics. I'm not, because I understand what people do out in the open, what they hide in secrecy in the background to keep you from noticing what needs to really be taken care of. My thoughts are here with America, and I do understand about Israel. One of the promised countries and land is Israel. You don't mess with Israel, and I'm glad that the United States is in line with Israel. I do know, and I was just discussing that with me today, that the entities that are going on today is trying to rewrite everybody. And it's ridiculous to me. Who has the standards and who doesn't. And there's lies coming from everywhere, not just from one source. And this is what bothers me. There's liars coming from everywhere, and their actions are showing me they're liars. And I'm not going to be hypocritical or kind with this. A lie is a lie, and it destroys and it disturbs. Cover-ups are cover-ups. They are what they are. But people do what they want to do to make you stay in a certain arena so you won't see what's going on in the background. What the initial aim is here. The initial aim is to keep the American people as well confused and not see the reality of what's going on in the background. There's a whole much more that's going on in the background. That's what's in the forefront. Now we're talking about the war and what Iran did. Iran also sent drones over here and did their thing. Okay. Iran is not a good country. Okay. It's not even a good country to their people, period. And so it is what it is. Let's just put it on the table. And so we try to be a good country, a good United States, but we got everybody coming over here, including some of the Iranians, who are trying to rewrite our laws and things and make us accept what they want to do. And I was thinking about this, and I'll tell you this. I was talking to the Lord this morning. I said, America is going to be so unrecognizable, okay, as being the state of their own, is because they have too many folks over here coming here instituting their laws. If you look at the history of Iran, they've been brutal to their own people. Not just the women, but they have no respect for women and little girls. The things that they do to little girls. I mean, I look at the whole ball and wax. Now, you might say Americans shouldn't be involved. I'm going to say, yes, be involved, because they're involved with Israel, and Israel is God's promised land. And anybody that goes against Israel, biblically, if you study your Bible biblically, you're going to be in a hellish mess, messing with Israel. And I'm glad United States is aligned with Israel. Now, in war, you're going to have casualties. We want to pick apart what somebody says. I think this gentleman says on your taping, it says that, there are going to be much more deaths. Well, that's a reality. If you go into war, that's a reality. Look at who was the president during that time, and I should have did more of a history because I didn't know you were going to talk about this today. But even in the Vietnam War, we had no business being over there. How about that? Okay, and there's other incidences that America has stepped in, of course. And I really feel that if America would take care of home, and any country would take care of their own, then we wouldn't have all of these disturbances. Now, something else was said too about the Epstein file. And I'm not trying to find Epstein file. I'm not trying to, some folks are saying Epstein's still alive, which he probably is. Okay. I'm just saying. But I do see the habits of what's going on today. And I'm a realist. And I do see what's going on, the cover-ups, the lies. You got a lot of the politicians who are running scared. It's not just Trump. We always want to single out Trump. Let's just be honest. It's across the board. There's nastiness on both sides. There is nastiness on both sides. You can shake your head. It's real talk here. They are hiding their hand. They are doing their cover-ups. See, we talk about what we don't really know the reality of it. We talk about what we are fed, period. And what we are fed, depending on the mindset, you're going to accept what you're fed, okay? Especially if you have distress and distrust in your heart. You are going to accept what you fed. I don't care where it comes from. And from all provocations, the media feeds us what they want us to know to keep us in a disarray. And I got to this mindset, and I know, William, this is your show and you run it the way you run it, and that's a great thing. But I've had to step back from a lot of this stuff because, and I think I explained that to you too at one time. It caused me a lot of distress. It caused me a lot of anguish and anger. And I think we as an American people, we need to pay attention to what's going on over here, because there's a whole heck of a lot that's going on over here that we're not really, in other words, bringing to fruition and bringing to the forefront. There's a lot of backdoor dealing, a lot of backdoor mishandling of even our own people. I don't understand, and I'll just throw out a question and I'll be done. I don't understand is how we open the doors and we say it's a melting pot, and it's caused me much anguish. It's a melting pot, and we let all these folks over here, they want to change us to fit the country that they ran from, to come over here to be free, but they want to change us. And I don't know if you heard this, William, that I think it was either Iran or Somali want to change rules and want us to vote on the rules. They want to start setting rules over here. And so I have an issue with that. I mean, we're going over, I mean, you look at the presidents in the past, they've been over in somebody else's land too. Let's just call it is. That's history. It is what it is. And death, it's an unfortunate thing, but this is what they do. And you know this. This is not the first time. President Trump is not the only time. And I'm just putting it on the table here. And you guys can help me through if I'm confused, help me with that. And I'll listen. It is, that's the way I am. But my thing is this. Put everything on the table. Obama sent folks over to war. Come on. When they did not apply to something, look at Ghana. When they didn't accept a certain lifestyle, guess what he did? He sanctioned that country when he had no business being over there. That has nothing to do with America. Because you don't want to accept somebody's lifestyle, but you sanction somebody's children. So you keep food from going over there. If we're going to put stuff on the table, let's put it on the table and say what it is, okay? Because my thing is this, is that I accept everybody has flaws. Everybody has flaws, man. There is nobody perfect. Nobody. Everybody seemingly is trying to hide stuff, okay? Everybody is not transparent. It is what it is. And I know it's good to discuss it so we can get to a resolve, William, and I get it. I do get that. And maybe it could bring some calmness to some people. I get that too. But it's not going to stop it. Because even in my, and I'll just say it today, even in my prayer time, revelation is here. You cannot stop what's going on. You can talk about it till you're blue in the face. But my thing is this, we better gird up ourselves to face it. And I don't mean to be a killjoy, but you asked me, and I need to share my heart. I'm not caught up into this because, especially when I know what has to happen.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to say Israel. No, I'm not supporting Israel. And I'm going to tell you why. I support the Israeli people. I do not support the Israeli government. I'm going to tell you why. Netanyahu is a war criminal himself. He is wanted in different countries for crimes himself. And anytime, and you have the Palestinian people, innocent people. Now, see, a lot of people want to commingle or put together Hamas and the Palestinian people, okay, and mingle those all together. And he has killed tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of innocent Palestinian people. I mean, it makes no sense. I'm talking about women and children. The guy should be in prison. No, I'm not standing behind him. No. And if we want to go all the way back in history, then we can talk about the Hebrews in Israel. Okay?
That's what I was talking about, William. It's the people. It's not the government, because our government is ranked too. Come on, let's be real. People who are running these countries half of them are ranked. I'm talking about us. We're all suffering behind people's misdoings. I get that. I do. Good. I'm not going to support no murderer. I'm not going to do that. I'm not. That's not my lifestyle. Never have been. But all I'm saying is, William, to make myself clear, Israel was God. That was God's special place, and it still is. But you have governors, you have people that go into every area that are stinking in their lifestyle and that are murderers or hatred. I'm not talking about honoring some man like that. I loathe that kind of individual.
So that's why I'm saying, and let me finish, is that no, I do not. I'm not supporting the Israeli government and what they're doing, murdering these people. No. As a matter of fact, if you look at it, the Palestinians were there first. Okay? And they have murdered these people, hundreds and thousands. And when their attack happened in Israel, and Hamas attacked and killed innocent Israelis, that is, then they should be held to account. But also, they went in and got infiltrated themselves with the Palestinians. And so then the Israelis, the Israeli government is using these people as, collateral damage, okay? Blowing up hospitals, schools, and things, just murdering innocent people, starving these people. No, I'm not going to support that at all. So, no, and also there's one thing about this. Why? We send Israel arms. We send them tons of money. Now, I know you guys are against waste, fraud, and abuse. These guys are wasting more money, sending money back in Israel year after year after year after year, and now allowing ourselves to be involved in an ongoing conflict because the Israeli government wanted us to. Because the main culprits here, the United States and the Israeli government. Okay, when there was supposed to be continued negotiations going on Monday with the United States, Israel, and Iran this coming Monday. Like I said again, Israel, no, I don't condone how they treat their women and their children and their people. I don't go along with that. However, are we going to police the world? We attack Venezuela. We're attacking Iran. We drop bombs in Nigeria. No, come on. This is the most corrupt regime ever in this country. And it's not a both sides issue. We've got one man that's causing these problems right now, when he's supposed to be focusing on the economy, okay, yeah, the border, okay, immigration, and he's feeling at everything. And he's just as corrupt as two rocks. I mean, it's just absolutely insane. It's insane. So no, I'm not going along with that. And I agree with what Ann is saying. A lot of this has to do with a massive coverage with the Epstein files and everything else that this corrupt regime is going. In the second part of this program, we're going to expose some of the corruption. So, Mike, what's your take?
Wow. Again, as usual, a lot to take in. I'll start by saying that we as human beings, as God's creatures, that we have an obligation to fight evil and to promote good. And that's just going biblical. And I'm not a biblical scholar at all, but I do believe we have the right and the need to fight evil and to promote good. I've talked in the past about when I was in Venezuela for a week, and that was under Hugo Chavez, the dictator. Oh, I'm sorry, the president, the duly elected president. He wasn't a dictator, even though he got elected every 6 years unanimously, and even though his brother was the one that ran the election. However, I'm sure it was a fair election. Very corrupt. The people of Venezuela are magnificent. The government hated America because we represented something that their government didn't want. They didn't want freedom for the people. They wanted government dictatorship and rule. So I agree with Dr. Sims. Looking at Venezuela, looking at Iran, it's not the people. It's the extremely corrupt and extremely evil government. Keep in mind, Iran is at the top of the list of what's the term? Female genital mutilation. Like 98% of the women there have been mutilated. So if they will do that to the mothers, the females, the nurturers of our society, that's just extremely evil. And they have pretty much cured LGBTQ plus. They've cured all of that in Iran, and the way they cured it is by death. So if you want to come out as gay or lesbian or queer or whatever you want to come out as, yeah, they're going to put you to death. They're going to throw you off of buildings and you're going to die. So based on the things I've just brought up, this is an extremely evil country. And I think the world, not just America, the world needs to rise up against this type of action against human beings. It's just wrong on so many levels. All the presidents that I'm aware of in my recent history, I think this regime that currently governs Iran, I think took over and became powerful in 1979. If I'm wrong, you guys fact check me. Every president, Obama, Biden, Clinton, they have all said we cannot allow Iran to have nuclear weapons. They're Neanderthals. They'll kill themselves and us along with them. They're nuts. The government anyway, not the people, the government. They will cut off their hand to spite their face, so to speak. So if all the presidents in recent history have said we can't let Iran have nuclear weapons, but none of them did anything about it, until Trump. He told them, we're not going to let you.
That's not true.
Yeah, it is.
Obama had negotiated a deal with Iran, and that they had stopped and had negotiated a nuclear. Hold on, a nuclear arms deal that they would not continue. They would not build a nuclear weapon. We already had that deal in place.
Oh, so they promised, right? They pinky promised.
No,
they pinky promised. So we're okay then, right?
No,
but that government.
I just want to give you guys both a fact check. Basically, the deal was that Iran's nuclear program would be policed, so to speak. So they had it in place that experts in nuclear proliferation would go into Iran to check to see what they were doing and what they were not doing at their nuclear facilities. So if you wanted to use nuclear weapons for, say, energy, like, for so many homes, that's one thing. But if you're using the nuclear power to make a weapon, that's another. So they had people, Iran had agreed to allow themselves to be monitored and not to make weapons of mass destruction. And so that was the deal that was in place when President Obama was in office, that they made with Iran. And it wasn't just the United States who was involved. I believe other European countries were also involved in making that deal. So what you had was experts, say UN nuclear proliferation experts, and I'm just throwing it out there. I don't know that they were from the UN. I'm just saying these people would go and they would look and they would report back. The problem is now you have the Trump administration saying all this, but they killed that program. So nobody's going in there looking to see what they have. So you have them making up, quote unquote, alternative facts. Like they'll be ready to have, which is what they said on Fox News, a nuclear weapon capable of reaching the United States next week. Nuclear weapons that will reach the United States from the Middle East must go into outer space, then come back down to reach the United States without getting burned up in the atmosphere. Do you know the level of technical and physics expertise that you need to get to that point? They're barely getting their nuclear program off the ground. It's not that far along, folks. But that's what's happening when you tear up all the stuff that's in place to give you real facts. They can make up whatever they want.
They were never allowed to verify. They weren't allowed into certain areas and facilities where they were creating the essence of what it takes to make a nuclear bomb. And all nuclear bombs aren't fired on missiles. You can carry one in. You can build one here in the United States, or carry the supplies into the United States, and you can set one off somewhere here in the United States.
Yeah, that's true.
It doesn't have to be fired in a missile. Okay.
No,
and if they wouldn't let them into those facilities to verify what they were actually doing, then they were hiding something. And Iran has always done what they're being accused of, is kicking the can down the road. Oh yeah, well, yeah, a little later. We'll get into all that stuff. So you're going to tell me that Iran made a pinky promise that they're not going to make nuclear weapons?
It wasn't a pinky promise. It was a deal, Mike.
Please. Oh, and we trust them, right? The people that
it was already in place. The deal was
the people that chant death to America. We can trust them, right? They're going to give us the truth, just like the school where all the kids died.
We had a deal in place under Obama.
We can trust these dictators to be honest. We can't even trust our own government to be honest. What makes you think we can trust Iran's government?
Do we send spies in the lands to gather some data? Because I'm assuming now, if they send spies in there, because they have to have some kind of basis, not just to go in there and destroy something, because we don't know I believe, and it's my theory, we don't know all the ins and outs, okay? We don't know all the ins and outs of war. We don't know all the ins and outs of what people are doing in their country, unless, and maybe I watch too many documentaries, but don't they somewhat, to get provocation for what they're going to do, is sometimes spies in land? Because I'm sure we are not told everything. I am so sure of that, that we are not told what's what. And I watch documentaries on the United States past behaviors and things like that. Okay, so I'm assuming now, and I know what assuming means, but so in my assumption, it's something that's not proven yet. When you assume something, or when you hear somebody say something, you're assuming that that person is telling you the truth when it is not yet proven. So sometimes people just give their theory. And my thing is this: in some of these documents, strategic wars and movies that I've seen, and history of not just United States, but other areas. I mean, we had with some Korea, right? Korea was in a meeting with the United States and they was getting ready to bomb us, right? But they had a pact supposed to, okay, not to go to war, but he shook the president's hand and they was already starting to bomb. My dad was in the war, okay, so I know what's up. But my thing is this, is that I would assume and think that they would send some type of personnel that would go in there strategically. You have to be very professional at your maneuvers to get some data, okay, to bring back. Because like I said, we sit here, we don't know all the ins and outs. We do not. We will sit here and say, this is what it is. And you cannot say that based on 2 or 3 people giving you their analogy, okay? Because we don't know. I don't know if you all ever played that game Battleship, okay? You can't see the other maneuvers of the other person. It teaches you a valuable lesson. Because you're under the assumption that that person is making that move. You're under the assumption that that person is doing this and the person's not even moving the ship, you understand? And so my thing is this, is that we make a lot of assumption and make it become conclusive, and it is not, because we have a lot of people who have their own mindsets, theories, and feelings. And a lot of this feelings going on today is a bunch of hatred, okay? Pupid hatred that is coming out right now, and it is ridiculous. And my thing is this, my question is, does anybody know on this panel if they, for strategic war plans, for strategic activities to happen in other countries, do they not send some kind of spy? Because my son went to Desert Storm with Saddam Hussein, and it was something else, I'm telling you. So somebody had to get some inside stuff on his maneuvers. My son told me this man put his people out there to take the brunt. The army was kissing the back of their hand, but yet we were fed. We were fed here over the United States that they're armed and dangerous and this. But Saddam Hussein was another, like the Iranian leader. He was brutal. He was mean to his people. He didn't respect women. He built a city underneath a city. He was well covered in gold, and he had his soldiers, all he gave them, this is what my son told me. He was in special forces. He told me, he said, Mom, he said, all he did was give them a gun and a handful of rice and stuck them down in a hole. And by the time he got to them, they were kissing the back of the American soldiers' hands because they were rescued. And my son said, when all the missiles were going and I'm sitting here praying for my baby and all this kind of stuff, they had already invaded Saddam's hiding place. And he said, it was so elaborate, but yet the people, and I'm with you, William, the people, how come the people suffer at the hands of ignorant leaders and leaders that are evil? And this is not only just there, it's all over the world.
Including the United States.
I said all over the world. I said all over the world. And that's an inclusion. That's a given. We have people here. And my thing is this, we are stroked to be blinded and believe a thing that is not actual. AI has already been enforced to make you believe a thing that's not actual. It's been here for many, many years, but we have become knowledgeable of it. So my thing is this, and the way people are fighting against each other, it is by design. It is by design. So therefore, you have people who are slewfoot leaders here. They don't want you to say it, but they're here, period. We got lying leaders here. They're here, okay? And they're at one another. I am in the middle who's not really cared for. So my thing is this, again, back to the question, since we are dealing with something that is not of the United States issue, do they not send spies in the land, because in biblical days, since you talked about biblical days, William, in biblical days, they always had spies to come back with a report. Okay, nothing has changed. The word of God says there is nothing new under the sun, period. And what has happened back in that day is still nothing has changed, even with the treatment, what they do with the women, with the babies, nothing has changed. If you can go throughout that Bible and tell me where it's changed, you can't find it, because it is the same appetites that resonates today, and they're more vile and more evil. You think, ask Noah if he was still alive. Jonah, he didn't want to go to Nineveh because they were foul, and these were leaders. Okay, so guess what? Because he was sent. Now, again, my question is, do you know for a fact that we don't have ample enough information to know what some of these sinisters are doing and to prevent something to happen? And from what I read, he did have a meeting. And then when I read that Iran was paying us, they go whoop us, I guess, by sending drones over here to bomb on us and Israel. So these leaders are they think they're smart, and they might be smart, but they're vile and they're uncaring about people. So again, do they get reports? Do you know for a fact that they don't get reports? Do you know for a fact that Iran was not building nuclear forces? Do you know for a fact that they kept them out of these hidden places? Do you know for a fact? Because they told us in America, they told us their aim was to destroy America. And one main purpose I have an issue with, if we didn't follow their God, they would shoot every one of us. Okay, so my question is, again, do you not know for real their appetites and their hatred for America to go and backslash? Because in history time, some of these leaders from these vile places with bad behavior have come over here and sat with presidents and already had actions in place to teach us a lesson.
Let me answer your question. Do any of us know a fact about anything that's going on here? No, we don't. But I do know that we do have. I do know that we have. Go on, Ann.
I was just going to say, it was widely reported that Trump said he was sending CIA intelligence offers to Venezuela before he invaded Venezuela and kidnapped their leader. Okay. Now, in terms of sending people to Iran, that wasn't widely reported if it happened. Mm-hmm. It wouldn't be a shock if it is. The United States, we spy on our allies. So of course we spy on everybody else. I mean, I don't know if you remember or not, but when President Obama was in office, it was a huge scandal because the Germans found out that the Americans were spying on them. And so President Obama had to apologize to Angela Merkel for what happened. So we spy on everybody. So it wouldn't shock me if there are spies in Tehran. That's, as a matter of fact, I would consider that a given. What I find strange is that Republicans, or people who tend to vote Republican, have always, for decades, claimed that America was getting too involved in other people's business, that we've been acting like we are the police of everybody else. But now suddenly y'all are okay with folks going to other countries and bombing. What happened to your America First that you voted for, that you wanted everything to be all about taking care of home? But here we are in Venezuela. Here we are in Tehran. Here we are in Nigeria, making up crap about why we're bombing people over there, and you're okay with it. It's amazing to me how suddenly, because it's Trump, it's okay to get rid of evil people.
This has been going on for years. This has been going on for.
I didn't say it wasn't. I'm not the one who's claiming it is. I agree. We have gotten involved with other countries over the years, helping people to. We've been involved in regime change. We've been involved in helping other countries, citizens become more democratic. But it was all a problem when it was a Democratic president that was doing it. All of a sudden, now that it's Trump doing it, we need to get rid of all these bad people. Really? Because they were bad people before and you hated it. So I guess I don't understand why all of a sudden now you're so on board with it. There have been children, women. If you I think it's Oprah Winfrey who said, if you are a woman born in the United States, you are one of the most lucky women, or one of the luckiest women on the planet. And that is because what you were talking about, Mike, female castration goes on practically all over the world. Almost, even when you have people who have migrated to other countries, like say for the UK, they've I read an article about a year or two ago about a little girl running to get help because her parents were about to castrate her. Basically what they do is they remove they remove the clitoris on a female because they feel like it will make her sexually promiscuous. And some men in those countries won't even marry a woman unless she's been quote unquote fixed because they're afraid she'll cheat on them. So that's just one of them. Then you have others where they marry children so young that the little girls get pregnant and their aren't prepared to have babies. And so they damage their internal organs, pushing out a baby. And some of them, the lucky ones,
some of them die through the sexual activity.
The lucky, some of them die from the sexual activity because their bodies aren't ready for it. But others, their bodies, the ones who are lucky enough to survive, some of their bodies create what's called fistulas. Basically, they've damaged their bladders to the point where they can't hold urine. So they are constantly leaking urine all the time. And then they become ostracized in their communities because nobody wants to be around the stinky urine girl, right? So you have whole organizations that were helping those children. And I'm just saying all this to say, when this was happening before, when we were trying to help young women, we were trying to help young girls, we were trying to help people who wanted to be a more democratic society, when we were trying to overthrow the bad people like Iran's leadership, all of us, it was a bad thing for the Republicans then. It was the United States was trying to police the whole world. The United States should stay out of other countries' business. But now it's okay. And that is the height of hypocrisy for me. Pick one. Is it okay to get rid of bad people, period? Or is it only okay when you like the person in charge who's doing it?
I have an answer for you, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
And my answer is, should we run around and be the world police? No, we should not. We should mind our own business. We got plenty to deal with right here. However, that being said, when the evil is so evil and so powerful that they can hurt other countries and other people within this world, then again, we as human beings must rise up against that evil and stop it, block it, whatever we have to do to eliminate that type of evil. I'm not saying we should tell people how to run their countries, but if the overflow of that country is death to America, you better get Granny's going to get her gun and defend America. That's just going to be it. So don't holler death to Americans and then expect us to sit by and go, oh, okay, well, that's all right. We won't interfere. I think that when the evil gets so out of balance and so dedicated to killing other human beings, yeah, they need to be stopped. I'm okay with that. Trump told Venezuela and Iran what he was going to do. Now, I'm not a huge fan of Trump. I'm just not. I think he's very non-presidential. But he pretty much says what he's going to do, and then he follows up on it. He said he was going to seal our borders. He did. He said he told the President Maduro in Venezuela what he was going to do, and he gave them the out. He said, go to another country, but leave your people alone. Let your people govern themselves. And he wouldn't do it. So what happened? He went in and he took out Maduro. He wasn't attacking the people of Venezuela. He took out that dictator / president. Yeah, sure. And he did the same thing with Iran. He told them, hey, no more building stuff that's going to create a nuclear bomb down the line. We're not going to let you have that kind of power because you're unhinged. You're crazy. You're what's the term? It's they're zealots. They will die for a cause and get their 50 virgins in heaven. So they're crazy. And when that kind of crazy is occurring in this world, not just the United States, but the people of this world need to stop it. They need to say, no, we're not going to allow you to have that. It's like dealing with a snot-nosed little brat 5-year-old. It's like, no, we're going to spank you. We're going to spank you. We're not going to allow you to go around and hurt Billy next door because he's smaller than you. We're not going to allow that. So they're a terrorist state. They have been one of the biggest states in the world, countries in the world that has sanctioned terrorist activity. Let me see. If hang on, I was making notes here. To answer Ann's question about, well, we're attacking Iran and not taking care of the people of America, we can do more than one thing at a time.
What? We can? Really?
Absolutely. We can attack Iran for being evil, and we can still take care of the American borders and the American people. So it's not, one's not exclusive of the other. We can play
that's
the we can play. Well, that's what you were saying.
I mean, that was the whole point that was the whole platform, that we couldn't do both things at the same time. Yet we were doing both things at the same time. But now you're saying I'm sorry. Oh God, I'm sorry.
Well,
go ahead.
Then correct me. What were you saying? You said we're not taking America because we're attacking Iran. Is how I took it.
No. What I'm saying is, when we were taking care of the American people as well as helping other people all around the world, that was a problem. And you voted for somebody who said he was going to do the exact opposite of that because you hated
new war.
And now you are arguing to me that we can do both things at the same time, that it's okay to do both things at the same time. But it wasn't. Just a couple of years ago, it wasn't. Do you not see this? I mean, honestly, do you really not see this hypocrisy? It is blatant. It's right here. Because it was somebody doing it that you didn't like, it was horrible. But now that somebody's claiming to do it, because he's not, he doesn't care about the American people anymore. He cares about the Iranian people or the Venezuelan people or anybody else on this planet. Only thing he cares about is him and the power that he wants to keep for himself. But okay, for the sake of argument, we're gonna say that he's doing all the good stuff that you think he's doing. But it was bad just a few years ago when somebody else was taking care of America and helping other people. We were applauding.
Never said that.
When we were applauding.
And I'm not a
when we
Republican,
got rid of
by the way.
USAID, which was the American government being a friend to so many people all over the country, blessing so many people who are impoverished, who have no access to vaccines and no access to medical care, who had no access to education the way that we were doing. We had such a good rapport with so many countries around the world because we were doing what the Lord would want us to do, and that's help our fellow man. But people were applauding when we unilaterally cut off all of that help to all these people without any notice. Folks are dying by the thousands every day, and nobody cares about that. We're not even reporting on that anymore because we cut off their life-saving treatments just because we want to put America first. But now you are telling me we can help other people as Americans as well as help Americans at the same time. I'm flabbergasted. I really, William, is it just me? I mean, am I missing something?
You're not. No, you're not. You're right on top, because I'm gonna say something right here. If we're so godly and we're looking out for the world, we're police of the world right now, then we wouldn't allow so many men, innocent men, women, and children to be killed in Gaza. Come on. And it's not our job. The president's job is to take care of the United States. That's his job, okay? He ran on a platform, and this is what you guys voted for. No new wars. No new wars. And what has he done since he's been there? He bombed Nigeria. He bombed Venezuela. He's bombed Iraq. He's done this. And are you going to tell me that we should go along with what this guy is doing when we know it's an obvious cover up? We are not the police of the world. Yes. And if what you were saying is so true, then how come we're not going into North Korea? Because he dare not mess with Kim Jong-un.
Right.
He already messed with Kim Jong-un. He already messed with Rocket Man. Come on.
Mess with Rocket Man?
No, you notice, Rocket Man stopped firing rockets and missiles because he knew that Trump was serious. He was going to take him out.
Are you serious?
Just like he took out Maduro, just like he's taking out Iran. They know he's serious. They know that he's nuts enough to follow through with what he's saying. So Iran, North Korea is not doing anything because they're scared of Trump, just like the rest of these countries should be.
Is doing.
Well, you have no idea. Cut me off. You guys cut me off.
I didn't cut you off.
Yeah, you did. I did. Yes, you did earlier.
It's my fault. It's my fault. It's my fault. He was talking. It's my fault. I take responsibility for that. It's my fault.
I did not.
And I asked William a question, but Mike had the floor, so it is my fault. It's my fault. Let Mike go back to Mike because he did have the floor, and I apologize, Mike. I didn't mean to.
No,
I didn't mean to stop in the middle of your stuff. Sorry.
No. Let me just finish. Go on, Mike. Go on. You got it, bro.
To address what Dr. Sims was saying, that we don't go into other countries blindly. We have intel on the ground. We have snitches on the ground. We have paid snitches. Their own people hate their government, so they're very, very willing to give up the information. Like I told you before, if I wanted to know about somebody, I would, as a detective, as an investigator, I would go knock on their neighbors' doors, and I could get all the dirt in the world. So the people that hate their government are very willing to spill the beans and tell all the dirt on what's going on and where the nuclear stuff is at for real. So, and where the drug boats are that are leaving Venezuela that we blew up, rightfully so, because they had intel. They didn't just go, oh, there's a boat, let's blow it up. That it doesn't happen that way. Things don't happen that way, William. They just don't. There's intel coming from there and coming from our own satellites, coming from everything that we know. There's something referred to as Occam's razor. This is important. Occam's razor states, all things being equal, the simplest answer to a given question is usually the most correct. And with regard to Venezuela, with regard to Iran, when you look at the reality and the totality of what's going on there, the simplest answer is they want America dead. They want us out of the picture because we have a heavier hand with controlling them. So the simplest answer is Iran's trying to develop nuclear byproducts so they can create a weapon if they want to. They are going to continue to mutilate women in their own country, treat them like second-class, third-class citizens. They're going to continue to throw people of alternate lifestyles off buildings. These are evil people. The simplest answer is we can't trust them. They are a hotbed of terrorists. That's what they want to do. They want to terrorize to get their way. Like I said, they're snot-nosed little 5-year-olds, and they will do anything they can to control America or to keep us out of running their business because they're unable to run it themselves. I'm not going to give my 5-year-old knives and guns to run around the house with. I'm going to make sure he can't have them. And that's all that we're doing with Iran. We're making sure they don't have the guns and knives to hurt other people in the way of nuclear byproducts. So Occam's razor applies here. Number one, we've got intel going all over the world. Number two, we have to stop the evil when we see it. And again, we have the snitches that tell us everything that's going on. So to be naive and believe that, oh, well, they promised they wouldn't build nuclear weapons. BS. Give me a break. I'm not buying that for a second.
And you don't have to. But what I'm saying is everything was in place. They had inspectors coming in. Iran had agreed.
They didn't let them go everywhere.
Mike, I didn't cut you off.
Well, I have to correct you when you say something wrong. They never let them into the strategic.
You don't have to. I don't need you to correct me, Mike. Okay, because
so you don't mind being wrong.
Because everything that you said was not correct either. There was a place. President Obama had negotiated a deal with Iran, and there was a nuclear arms deal in place. And like Ann had told you that they allowed inspectors to come in to make sure that they were following protocol the way it was supposed to be done.
I just told you they didn't let them go everywhere.
They did let them.
No, they did not. No, they did not.
They did not have. Well, guess what? They didn't have a bomb. They didn't have a nuclear bomb.
Close. They were getting close.
Well, guess what? We're going back decades right now. They did not have one, and you don't know. I don't know, and you cannot be definitive in your response to this because you don't know. We are not there. The only information we get is what's being fed to us. None of us are there in Iran. None of us are there or anywhere else in the world except for the United States. And even in this country, we don't know what's going on here because guess what? This government right now is so secretive. Now, understand that you cannot let go all of your classified information. I do understand that. But there was a deal in place. And also, like I said before we bombed them on Saturday, there was a negotiation that was supposed to be held on Monday in good faith to go over all of the details to make sure that they were not developing the capabilities. Now, also, if going by your logic, and if he were telling the truth, if they were telling the truth in the first place, then they come on TV and says that Iran, their facilities has been neutralized, been wiped out, and they cannot now, after we attack them, develop their bomb. Now, which is true? Were they lying then, or are they lying now? I mean, it's just that simple. And if we had that, and then he came out, your president came out on TV and admitted that it was about a regime change. Just like Venezuela. I've never heard anyone out of Venezuela say, death to America. I've never heard that. And then you talk about drugs.
I was there. The government did.
Again, Mike, I didn't cut you off, brother.
Well, William, you're saying things that aren't true. The government hated America.
Mike, I could say the same thing for you, brother.
I was there. How many Venezuelans did you speak to in that country?
You were not there. You were not there when this conflict happened. And you were there on something else entirely different. This had nothing to do with what's going on. Matter of fact, you're talking about the drug boats off of Venezuela. Those boats could not have gotten to the United States, and fentanyl does not come from Venezuela.
Oh, no. It's not just fentanyl. That wasn't the only drug, William.
Hold it. Dr. Sims.
That was not drug boats. They didn't say fentanyl.
Hold on 1 second. Hold it. Fentanyl, the number one killer in the United States is fentanyl. Okay? Then you can even go with cocaine, where the majority of cocaine is not coming from Venezuela. It's coming from other South American countries. Okay? Come on, let's get your facts straight. It is not coming from Venezuela. And then if you look at it, it had nothing to do with drugs coming out of Venezuela in the first place. It was about the Venezuelan oil. And then you have to tell, and I'm going to tell you what, follow the money. Follow the money. We seized the Venezuela oil boat, okay? And now we cashed in, and then they have a bank account. Tell me, why does the United States, or why does the Trump administration have a bank account in, oh my God, Kuwait? No, I'm sorry. Is it Kuwait? Not Kuwait, Qatar. A bank account in Qatar that we took the Venezuelan oil money that we stole and we could put it in a separate bank in Qatar? How much sense does that make? That makes no sense at all. Now,
they stole nothing from us, right? Nobody stole nothing from us.
No, they didn't steal anything. Venezuela didn't steal anything from us. No.
Yes, they did. No, yes, they did. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. You can't say that, William. Yes, they did.
What has Venezuela stolen from us? Give me some facts. Give me some facts, because you guys are spouting garbage right now. Venezuela hasn't stolen anything from us.
I just asked a question.
Well, I'm just saying they haven't stolen anything.
I have an answer if you want to hear it.
What have they stolen, Mike?
America went down there with our oil companies, Chevron and Shell and everyone else.
In their country. In their country.
Can I finish?
To steal, just like America stolen, just like they stole the land from Native Americans. Just like they stole the land, we're going in other countries.
Every land is. You're jumping around. Stop. Slow down.
I'm not jumping. No, don't tell me to stop.
You're jumping. You're
No,
talking
no,
about.
no, don't tell me to stop. Don't
America,
tell me to stop.
America is stealing the land from the Indians. That we're talking about Venezuela right now. We're not talking about Indian land being taken.
But guess what?
I'm giving you an answer to the question you posed. We went down there in a friendly manner because Venezuela had all kinds of untapped oil reserves. We went down there. Oil. Can I finish?
It's their oil.
Can I finish? We went down there, made friends with the Venezuelan government, made friends with the Venezuelan people, and we went down there and spent a shitload of money with these oil companies to build plants, to drill oil, and to refine the oil. So we were working hand in hand with that current government.
Really?
That government was put out of place, and corruption came in, and they threw, even though we had been put in place billions of dollars in building all of these factories and refineries and drilling for oil to help both America and to help Venezuela, the corrupt government that came in threw us all out. So all of our investments that we put in there, all of the oil companies that were there, and all the deals that were made with America and the United States were all thrown out. That's what they stole from us big time.
They didn't steal anything from you. You went into their land.
This is
their land.
We were invited. We were invited.
Okay, hold on. Let me stop this argument. Trump said, this is an article, by the way. Trump said Venezuela stole America's oil. Here's what really happened. And this is an article dated January, 2026 by CNN. All right. So
imagine that. 7 a.m. How did I guess it was CNN?
Oh, you've been okay with it was Fox, huh? Yeah.
Oh, I love my people on this panel.
Oh, okay. Okay. I won't read it.
I have a question, Ann, for you.
CNN. Apparently they
let
wrong.
her finish, please.
Go ahead.
No,
it's okay. Go ahead. What's your question?
Well, I guess I can ask this for
Dr. Sims.
Okay, I guess I can ask this for everyone on the panel. And we were talking about the Venezuelan and what happened in the ocean and them trafficking drugs, but it's a known fact, though, I thought, that they actually found drugs on these boats and they were seized. And I'm under the assumption that he was trying to, this regime was trying to stop the infiltration of drugs. It didn't say fentanyl, it said drugs, and the trafficking was quite heavy. And so we know, well, that's what even on CNN, all of them were saying the same thing.
That's not true.
They did.
Well, William,
that is not true.
William,
yes,
if I could just say this one.
Yeah, but that's not true, Dr. Sims.
And we always say, here's the deal. Here's the deal. If you're going to help my country by stopping a deadly substance that killing my people, then I'm all for that. But my thing is this, is that fentanyl, is raging. And we know a lot of fentanyl is coming from Mexico. We know that too, if the truth be told. And that has to be stopped, because even in my neighborhood, fentanyl is raging in my neighborhood. And I live in a small neighborhood, and it's come from over the borders of Mexico and things like that. And that's been a proven fact. Like we said before, that people go in there and they infiltrate these certain areas by coming under the guise. If you know how police force works, sometimes they will send somebody to make them look a part of a gang or look part of a regime just to get the information. They're spies. And so they bring this information out so that it can give the person who is in charge of destroying their business, as were, to protect the American people. And I'm not just talking about Trump now, please. I'm talking about all of the presidents I listened to, and I just recently, maybe in these past few months, I listened to all of them. They all had the same song to sing, to sing about stopping the drug infiltration, even with the illegals. You come in right, you come in at the door. They're all singing the same song, okay? And so I was like taken back a little bit. Everybody's singing the same, whether Democrat or or Republican. I know what I am. I know what I register as. So, but I also know that I know how to decipher things as well, regardless if it's negative or positive to some. But my thing is this: I believe now in this day that people now are becoming more aware, because there is a time, and let's just be honest, that people were asleep on a lot of things. People were not as boisterous on things today as it comes out. People didn't realize that they had an opinion. There was a lot of sneaky things going on even in then, and I'm talking in both regimes, both sides. And I still say that nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect. Yeah, we're discussing what we're discussing, but then there's some false, and I still say that there's some false narratives that are given, and we have to do the research. And I agree with you, when we got to do the research, right? I just can't say what these some of these charlatans are saying over the media, and some of them have almost admitted that they've been given false narratives on certain incidences because of the putrid hatred of an individual or individuals. And so that's not a good thing. That's not a good thing, because then you can't think clearly. I said the word before, assumptions. Assumption is not cute. Assumptions, and I'm not saying anybody in this panel, I'm just being open to the whole narrative here. Assumption is not cute. Assumption is not, assumption can be very vague. Assumption is passed on through somebody who has a different mindset or a different motive or agenda. And so that doesn't make it true, though, but because they have some issues, some may and some may not, or they try to get a point across. Just like, we have, and I agree with you, Ann, when you said, I used to say this a lot: why don't America take care of America, because I was tired of my babies being in the military, you understand, and they could be called at any time, when we had people out in the streets here. And I still say that today. I still say it today, because we have people out in the streets that need to be taken care of. And we have people who have come over here and injecting their narratives from the country that they ran from. It's a whole hellish mess here. When you can hold your flag from a country that you called being mistreated and misused, but you're going to come over here and fan that in my face and share your distresses in a country that you ran to, okay, and was getting everything, all right. And so I have a real issue with that. And I'm seeing not only with just Mexico, it was other countries as well coming over here, okay. And I agree with people coming, but like I said before, every president in the past, whether Democrat or Republican, were saying the same thing on how they were going to handle certain things. They were singing the same song. And this is not AI generated, as people would like to say, so that they can prove their point. No, that's not it. I heard these men and women talk about these things, okay? And I'm not a novice in listening. And so when I hear something and you have a person that just all of a sudden they turn the other way because of their feelings for an individual. And I believe this to a point that the way the solution can be, the issues can be resolved, if we as a people here, because it deals with me. We got countries that hate America, and I haven't did nothing to them. Hello. It's because of the government and what has happened. And you made that declaration too, William. You said it was because of, even in Iran or Israel, you wouldn't, Israel, because of that regime there, that administration there. And that's across the board. That's across the world. But it's the people who suffer, who does not have a hand in the decisions on most cases. And so my feeling is, why don't the people get an uproar? And why don't we, get the people together and share their voices? Because in actuality, we are the ones, we are the Americans, they are the Iranians, and whoever, the Chinese or whoever. That's their country, you understand? And I think, and I'm reflecting all the way around in our churches everywhere, they done got beside themselves. They have forgotten, okay, that they are servants for us. Period. I'll say that out loud and wide. Statement, broad statement. You're serving me. You're serving me. You want what's better for me, okay? And so why would I have to send you all the way over to Vietnam and have a war over there where we shouldn't even been over there in the first place? Okay, that to me, all of this stuff is just come to a fruition for me. Okay, in thinking, you have people who are in a war right here who are Americans. Okay, you have people who are in Mexico in war right here because their government don't take care of their own people. It is real here. Okay, and so my thing is this: we can do all the hollering, the hoopla, and the blame, but the blame really is on us because we're silent. We're not saying things. We're not speaking up. I believe if we would get a regime, now they hope they don't knock on a sister's door because they don't like for you to be open like this. And they don't like the voices to be shared like this because they eliminate people who even get somewhat of a few people that agree with we need to do something because they are so accustomed to dictating in various forms, dictating, whether it be Trump, whether it be Obama, whether it be Biden, whether it be whoever our presidents were. A lot of those times, and I still say that we were very asleep in a lot of those regime errors. But now, because we become wiser and awake and understanding how it should run, because people are telling about it all over the place. Now people are waking up saying, wait a minute, I've got a voice here. I should be recognized because I put a hand in building this nation, period. Okay. I should run for president.
Yeah. But when we stop electing stupid people, Obama was never a dictator.
No, okay? I never said that. I didn't say that. No, I didn't say that.
Well, you can't put him in the same category as this fool that we have right now. The point that I'm getting at, oh yes, I'm going to say it. I'm going to say this because this is absolutely, I have some clips coming up right now because this is the most corrupt regime in American history. This is not a both sides issue. It's not a both sides issue at all. We can go back to a $400 million Qatari jet. We can go to the deals that he made over in the Middle East to build golf courses and resorts. And nobody's talking about this. Nobody's talking about this. Number one, it's illegal according to the Constitution of the United States. What he's doing right now is totally illegal because there's something in the Constitution. Either we have a Constitution or we don't, folks. Either we have a Constitution or we don't. All right? He has profited since being in office at least $1.8 billion. That's against the law. That's a fact. Some people say rated higher, but I'm going on the lowest thing I've heard was 1.8 billion. Crypto schemes. And we talk about drugs coming into America. If we are so concerned about drugs in America, then I've asked this question before. Why did he what's the word I'm looking for? Not commute. What's the word? He gave immunity. That's not the word I'm looking for also. He gave a pardon to the former president of Honduras. This is a fact. This is not CNN. It's not MSNBC. It's not CBS. It's not ABC. A fact. He gave a pardon to the former president of Honduras who trafficked. If you guys are so concerned about drugs, you should be uproar about this. Over $400 billion in cocaine to the United States. He just pardoned him this year.
Why?
If you are so concerned about Venezuela,
why?
Why? Because he's in there. Look, you pay him a certain amount of money, you get a pardon. Ooh. Why? No, that's what you can shake your head all you want. Mike, that's a fact. You know this is a fact. He pardoned the former Honduras. Why did he do it? He doesn't even give you an explanation for it. He said, "Oh, I really didn't know the guy." He didn't even give you an explanation. If you're so concerned about drugs, then why pardon? He was convicted. The man was supposed to serve over 40 years in a U.S. prison.
And he was wrong.
And he said something about he heard from other people that the guy was convicted wrongly. How in the hell, who is those other people, and how in the hell does he know?
It was research.
Come on. You're not going to have research. Mike, the guy was in prison.
That the people that testified against him were criminals themselves, and they had an axe to grind against this guy. So he was convicted because of criminal activities, and they perjured themselves, and they lied on the stand.
Mike, it was a fact.
You got your set of facts. I got mine.
Look, you as a former detective, you got to know this. You cannot convict anybody on a whim. And you talking about something this major, 400 tons of cocaine, they had to have some evidence. You cannot convict somebody because you're of hearsay. They had evidence.
Nobody in jail was ever wrongly convicted.
You know I didn't say that.
Well, that's what you're implying. They have to have, you just said they have to have evidence. They have to have concrete evidence.
You got to have evidence.
People lie on the stand. Ask Judge Ann. People lie all the time.
But Mike, 400 tons of cocaine? You can't hide 400 tons of cocaine. You cannot hide it.
They lied.
How do you know, Mike? Where are you getting your information from? Where are you getting your information?
I'm getting mine from CNN like you do.
No, I didn't get that. That's not funny. That's not funny because that's not where I got it. That's not where I got it.
That's hilarious.
Hey, guess what? No, hey, Mike, since you're being funny, guess where I got it from? I got it from Fox. How about that? I got it from the howdy doody looking. The howdy doody looking.
Choose to believe whatever you want.
Howdy doody, really?
Howdy doody.
You can believe what you want, William, but I choose to go the other direction. I believe he was wrongly convicted, and Trump didn't just pull that out of his golden hair.
Mike, are you serious right now?
He had intel come to him. They had research come to him. They gave Trump the facts behind it. They showed how these criminals were the ones that lied on the stand, and they told Trump all this information. Based on that information, Trump pardoned him.
Or based on what? Well, Mike, that is the most ridiculous thing. That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard, Mike.
Really?
It makes no sense. It makes no sense.
People don't lie on the stand.
You cannot get a 45-year, and would you please let Mike know, you cannot get a 45-year conviction on anybody unless you have.
You can get murder convictions on people.
Look, Mike, with that high profile of a case, hey, look, the prosecutors would not have bought that. Because I'm going to tell you something about prosecutors, which I think most of them are weak anyway. Prosecutors don't bring a case unless they're sure they're going to get a conviction.
I'll agree with you there.
Okay? And they had this guy, and Trump pardoned him, and he came on live TV. This didn't come from CNN or ABC, CNN or MSNBC. He said it out of his own lips. It wasn't AI either. Okay? What? Now we're running out of time. I need to move to this next clip.
What did he say?
He said, "Well,
he said he came on TV.
He was asked, well, why do you pardon him? Well, I really don't know the guy, but some people say
he was given information.
He can't articulate.
He didn't articulate who?
I said that he given information that he can't articulate.
And that's probably right.
Yeah. He was given some information. He wasn't given any proof. Somebody told him to release this guy. I'm gonna tell you something. I guarantee you, they padded his pocket to do so. Let me move on to this. We're getting ready to run out of time, but I need to show this clip right here. Let's go right here, ladies and gentlemen. No, if you guys are still falling for what this guy says, I really feel sorry for you. I really, really do. Okay, let's see. That's a lie. Oh, here we go. I think this is the one right here. Okay, let's go with this one. Oh, no. And I had mentioned this to you before.
Yes.
What okay. This one right
here. Okay.
The Attorney General, Brad Bondi, Pam's brother. I'm Liz Oyer, the former pardon attorney for the Department of Justice. Been doing really well since Pam Bondi became the Attorney General. Brad Bondi, Pam's brother. I'm Liz Oyer, the former pardon attorney for the Department of Justice. Brad Bondi leads the investigation and white-collar defense practice at the law firm Paul Hastings. He represents clients facing investigation or prosecution by the Department of Justice. Having his sister at the top of that organization has been great for Brad's clients. Let me give you some examples. This is Carolina Amnesty. She was an elected official in Florida who the Justice Department charged with taking over $100,000 in fraudulent COVID-19 relief funds, which supposedly DOJ is cracking down on. But Carolina Amnesty had the bright idea to hire Brad Bondi right after his sister was named Attorney General. And amazingly, a few months later, DOJ dropped all the charges against Amnesty. Poof, gone. Then there's Sid Chakraverty. He's a real estate developer from St. Louis who DOJ charged with illegally claiming millions of dollars in tax incentives. Last year, Brad Bondi joined his defense team. And then 1 month later, the Justice Department dismissed the whole case against both Chakraverty and his partner, Vic Alston. Then there's Trevor Milton, another client of Brad Bondi's. Milton was convicted of a massive fraud scheme, and DOJ was seeking over $600 million in restitution for his victims. But then, before any of that money was paid back, Milton got a pardon from Donald Trump. The pardon wiped out years of work by career prosecutors to get accountability for Milton's victims. Brad Bondi is also representing the International Association of Cruise Lines in a lawsuit against the state of Hawaii. The cruise lines are challenging a new tourism tax on ships that stop in Hawaii. And guess what? The Justice Department has now intervened in the lawsuit on behalf of the cruise lines. In other words, DOJ is helping Brad Bondi's clients to win their case. Brad Bondi recently posted on LinkedIn bragging about all these wins. He wrote that in addition to all these public wins, there were many confidential victories, including confidential settlements, declinations, and closing letters. That's a quote. In other words, we don't even know the full extent of the deals he has gotten for his clients. This is not normal. I don't know of any lawyer anywhere who has this type of track record dealing with the DOJ, which is the most powerful law enforcement agency in the country. You might be asking, can they really do this? Well, there are rules and regulations that prohibit preferential treatment and conflicts of interest. But last year, Pam Bondi fired the person who enforces those rules. DOJ now has no ethics director, no professional responsibility director, and no inspector general. So basically no one to police the corruption. But don't worry, I am keeping tabs on all of it. And together we will demand accountability. Hey, everybody. You know who's been doing really well since Pam Bondi became the Attorney General? Brad Bondi, Pam's brother. I'm Liz Oyer.
Okay. It's not a both sides issue, folks. And since we have a legal representative here, and just like that attorney said, this is not normal. This is not normal. How can you trust the most powerful Justice Department in the world? I mean, in the United States. Okay. How can we trust anything they say when this type of corruption is going on? Just like I went back to the case about the former president of Honduras getting a pardon. If you notice all the pardons that Trump gave, and that one case that stuck out when Brad Bondi had a client who owed over $600 million to his people that he swindled, and he gets a pardon. He gets a pardon for that? Are you kidding me right now?
That was refreshing to hear her say all that stuff and to talk about all this corruption and all of it. And I'm so glad that she brought up Hunter Biden also. That's just amazing that she was fair about everything.
Okay, good. I have no issue with any of that. I don't care if it's Hunter Biden, if it's Bill Clinton, it doesn't matter to me. If you're corrupt, you're corrupt. And I want you guys to start admitting that this guy is the most corrupt president in the history of the United States. I mean, there's no comparison. No comparison. You know, he's destroying everything he puts his name on, like the Lincoln Center, the Kennedy Center, okay, putting his name on things. Now, the Kennedy Center is shut down right now because artists refuse to show up. Everything I mean, it's just absolutely awful. And then there's the Epstein files. Epstein files. The Republicans are saying, oh, he's exonerated. Are you kidding me right now? When his name appears in over 38,000 times in the files? Say he's never been on the plane when he has been there. He's taking bribes from any and everyone around the country. I mean, all over the world, building golf courses in different places when he's supposed to be doing the business. And please, please do not escape the facts, because folks, you say, or we say, this is a country of laws, and we're not holding the chief lawmaker in the world to account. Come on. I don't want to hear any garbage.
I think we should hold the president to account.
Well, yeah, that's him.
Yeah, I think that Hunter Biden, yeah, that's accountable. And
Hunter Biden is not Hunter Biden. Well, guess what?
Oh, that was on the up and up, right?
Yeah,
all the
that's
parts
fine.
that he gave,
I have no
all
problem
the
with
parts
that.
he gave to his entire family.
Yeah.
Preemptive pardons, no less. They weren't even charged with anything, but he gave him preemptive pardons.
Yeah, let's go for it, Mike. And then what about the Trump sons that are committing crimes? Ooh.
Why aren't they?
You didn't say anything about them?
That's why I say there's stinkiness on both
You
sides.
didn't say.
Oh, there's plenty.
Hold on.
Do you understand? Can you please understand that there's things that Trump does that I like, and there's also a lot of things that Trump does that I don't like. Can you understand that I'm not a blanket Trump fan. I'm not a fan of Trump. I can believe he's done some good. I can believe he's done some bad. But you're just like every single thing that Trump, everything that Trump does, everything's bad. 100% of everything he's done is bad. See, I can't view the world with that monopoly. What is it? The singular lens where I only can see one thing. Okay, I can see more than one thing at the same time.
I have a question for you. We have a few minutes left to go. Give me 3 things that he's done right.
He's let me on this air here with Coast to Coast and the Boomerang.
Oh, wow. Okay. He's letting us on air. Okay. Our dictator in chief. All right. Yeah, okay. All right.
And he sends me once a month. Once a month, he sends me mousse so I can do my hair properly.
You know what?
And it's working. Okay. All right. 3.
He pays for my Act Right pills.
Oh,
Okay, so this is an article by Bloomberg Law that says Democrats probe DOJ moves on cases involving Bondi's brother. It's dated December 16, 2025 by Celine Castronovo. Congressional Democrats are demanding the Justice Department turn over communications and other records on the department's dismissals and intervention in litigation involving Attorney General Pam Bondi's brother, citing a troubling pattern of DOJ's involvement in the cases. DOJ's intervention in recent Hawaii litigation and dismissal of other cases involving clients of Brad Bundy, co-chair of the investigations and white-collar defense practice at Paul Hastings LLP, present serious concerns on the department's impartiality, the Democrats wrote in the letter sent Tuesday to Pam Bondi and Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche. The request is the latest effort by Democrats to demand answers from a department they view as overtly politicized and doing favors for President Donald Trump's allies while prosecuting his perceived foes. DOJ has denied claims of giving special treatment to Brad Bundy's cases. The letter, led by Senator Adam Schiff, Democrat California, and Representative Dave looks like Democrat California, also cites the Trump administration's March 2025 removal of DOJ Office of Professional Responsibility Director Jeffrey Ragsdale, the senior official tasked with overseeing allegations of DOJ attorney misconduct. Such a leadership change, particularly during a period in which the department has taken several unusual actions that appear to benefit Mr. Bondi underscores the importance of ensuring that DOJ's internal accountability mechanisms remain fully independent and active, the lawmakers wrote. The letter gives DOJ until January 2nd to provide all documents related to any consideration, discussion, or implementation of a recusal or screening arrangement intended to separate Pam Bondi from any matters involving her brother, as well as details on all DOJ officials involved in actions the department has taken in cases involving Brad Bondi. The request centers on 3 cases with outcomes the lawmaker said favored clients of Brad Bondi, including the department's dismissal of government property theft charges against Carolina Amnesty, a former Florida state representative, related to COVID-era small business loans. The Democrats also noted DOJ's dismissal of a criminal wire fraud indictment against 2 St. Louis real estate developers, one of whom was a client of Brad Bondi. Bundy. In November, DOJ moved to intervene in a case filed against the state of Hawaii by Cruise Lines International Association over a law setting fees on vessel docking in the state. Brad Bondi is one of the association's attorneys, making the abrupt and unexpected intervention by DOJ just before a scheduled hearing on a motion to dismiss the case concerning, the lawmakers wrote in the letter. DOJ spokesperson Gates McGavick said in an email, as the department has repeatedly stated, these decisions were made through proper channels without input from the Attorney General. Brad Bondi didn't immediately respond to a request for comment. The actions by DOJ in the various cases followed Brad Bundy's loss in June in his bid for DC Bar Association president. The race attracted scrutiny over Brad Bundy's connection to the top Trump administration official, which some bar members feared would result in Pam Bondi interfering with disciplinary proceedings against the president's allies. Okay, so that was a fairly short article. However, the whole thing has 2 major problems, and that's conflict of interest, because this is her brother and she's the attorney general and her office is supposed to be prosecuting these people. The second one is a blatant abuse of power. These are signature things within the Trump administration. The entire administration is corrupt. The entire administration abuses its power. Basically, America is functioning like a third world country. This is not what we do. The first thing Trump did when he got into office with his high friend Elon Musk is to get rid of all of the people who would basically be the watchdogs. So they fired a lot of the inspector generals and a lot of the other people who deal with professional responsibility, so that they can get away with precisely what they're getting away with. They don't want anybody looking at them. They don't want anybody telling them what they want to do. They don't want anybody there to tell them they have to follow the laws and the regulations that are in place to make sure that America runs like a functioning democracy is supposed to, wherein we hold our leaders accountable. You have taken that particular piece away. And because of that, you have a country that is running more like a China or a Russia or even a North Korea. We're getting closer and closer and closer to them every single day. And the fact that half of the country can't see it is amazing. But it is now 7:00. Thank you all for being with us on the Boomerang. We hope that you learned something, or you were at least entertained, if nothing else. And we hope to see you back here next week at 5:00 p.m. Central Time. In the meantime, you can catch our other shows. We have Wild Wheel and Mad Mike on Coast to Coast. That's on Thursday evenings, if I'm not mistaken. Then turn around on Saturday morning at 11:00 a.m. for the Eating as an Active Worship Ministries radio show. And Dr. Sims, are you back to producing more?
I am coming back, y'all, and so I'm ready to go. And so it's going to be like a little better than a week. I'm getting some things into place, but also I have 2 more great grandchildren added.
Congratulations!
So I have 17 great grandchildren now. And
Praise
so a little girl, she was 8 pounds, 7 ounces, and a little boy, he was 8 pounds, 8 ounces when he was born. So I'm a proud grandma and great grandma and mama and all of the above, but happy to see my Boomerang family. Lord have mercy. Anyway, make you pray when you get off here. That's all I got.
Wow. Work out needs this evening. Yes, sir.
Hey, look. Hey, I want to thank you guys for listening. Oh, and by the way, Tesla and A. Mike, you remember Tesla and A?
I absolutely do. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, Tesla and A. 007, Beverly Haynes. You guys, thank you so much for tuning in. And I'm gonna take you out. Let's go out with a bang. I have a treat for you. Hey, this is by Tesla and A. Check it out, folks.
Nice.
Dr. Sims, let's see that smile, Dr. Sims. Let's see the smile.
Oh, yes. I did my cosmetic surgery, and I'm so excited. I'm still
You look beautiful.
Thank you.
Good.
Welcome. Have a blessed week, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Hey, Tesla and A says, let's take it outside.
Oh, that part. All right. Love you guys. Bye-bye.
Just to stay alive. Nobody could stop me from living my dream. Nobody told me it's never what it seems. Don't put me in a box. No way.
Hey.
Don't fence me in. Don't tell me what to sing. No. Just let me do my thing.
Hey.
Let's take it outside. Let's take it outside. Do you wanna take that ride? Let's take it outside. Now whether it's the blues, southern soul, or R&B, we all love it, right? Do you feel me? Now I'm grown and sexy with a lot to say. Don't hold me back because I'm a lady. Whatever it is, let me have my way. If you didn't know, now you know I'm here to stay. Don't put me in a box. No way. Don't fence me in. Don't you fence me in. Don't tell me what to sing. No. Just let me do my thing. Let's take it outside. Let's take it outside. Take it. Do you wanna take that ride? Take it. Let's take it outside. I love singing in the juke joint. I love singing in the hole in the wall. But if I'm not outside, I'm not free at all. I love singing in the juke joint. I love singing in the hole in the wall. But if I'm not outside, I'm not free at all. Don't put me in a box. No way. Don't fence me in. Don't tell me what to sing. No. Just let me do my thing. Let's take it outside. Let's take it outside. Let me take it outside. Do you wanna take that ride? Let's take it outside. Let's take it outside. Let me take it outside. Let's take it outside. Take it. Take that ride. Do you wanna take that ride? Take it. Oh. Let's take it outside. Let's take it outside. Outside, outside. Let's take it outside. Take it out. You know how we do it. We got our trail rides. We got our fairs. We got our festivals. Ooh, 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 ooh. Ooh, take this.
Got 5 more minutes. It's time to go. Got 5 more minutes. For the lights come on. For the lights come on. Got 5 more minutes. Got one more. Got one more. 5 more minutes. And the ladies popping those fires. Hey, Mr. DJ, let's turn this party up. Cause I'm looking real good and I'm feeling real good. Got this drink off in my cup. Ladies got the boots on. They daisy juice tonight. Fellas in here moving real smooth. Gotta get that two-step right. That two-step right. Pop fans now. Groove to this beat. To this, we gonna party. Till it's time to live. It's time to go. 5 more minutes. For the lights come on. For the lights come on. 5 more minutes. I got one more. Got one more. I got 5 more minutes. And the ladies popping those hands. When I clean up, when I dress up, when I'm sipping on that hand, or when I step out, when I pop out, every now and then. Got the homie roll up, tell them pull up, cause we show out, we show up, and you know we add it up, yeah. Poppin' fans now, group to this beat, we're gonna party until it's time to leave. Got 5 more minutes. It's time to go. Got 5 more minutes. For the lights come on. For the lights come on. Got 5 more minutes. Got one more thing. One more. 5 more minutes. And the ladies popping those hands. I say last call for alcohol. And the DJ's playing my favorite song. Shawty on the floor. She's so fine. Got me wanting to risk it all. Last look, got me feeling right. My moves are smooth, my game is tight. Watch out the now. Ooh, I should be in my bed, body in. Got 5 more minutes. It's time to go home. Got 5 more minutes. For the lights come on. For the lights come on. 5 more minutes. Got one more day. Got one more. I got 5 more. And the ladies popping their hands. I got 5 more minutes. It's time to go home. I heard somebody say, you ain't gotta go home. You ain't gotta go home. But you gotta get out. You gotta get out. You gotta get out of here. You got 5 more minutes.
How would you like for me to take control of you? Release your inhibitions, because I'm gonna make it do what it do. Don't have no fear, come here my dear. Don't try to run away. Before the night is through, you'll be begging me to stay. Gonna give me what I want. Gonna give it to me right now. Don't wanna hear no noise. Hey, I'm in charge. You're gonna give me what I need. Give me what I give it to me right now. You're gonna take it off the bed, cause I'm in charge. You're gonna give me what I want. Gonna give it to me right now. Don't wanna hear no noise, cause I'm in charge. You're gonna give me what I want. Gonna give it to me right now. You're gonna take it off the bed, down on my bed and just relax, baby. Close your eyes and let me drive you crazy. I'm gonna grab my whip, put you in cuffs, tug on that rope. I hope you don't choke. I'm gonna make you holler, make you scream. Gonna make you call out my name, boy, this is not a dream. Gonna give it to me right now. Give it to me right now. I'm in charge. Gonna give me what I need. Gonna give it to me right now. Give it to me. Give it to me. Gonna give me what I want. Give me what I want. I'm in charge. You gotta give me what I want. Gonna give it to me right now. Give it to me right. Gonna take it like a man. Give what I want. Give it to me right now. I'm in charge. I'm in charge. Right now, right now, right now. I'm in charge. You gotta give me what I want. Gonna give it to me right now. 'Cause I'm in charge. 'Cause I'm in charge.
One, two, three. Turn your lamp down low. Wake up, baby. Turn your lamp down low. And you got the nerve to drive Papa Tosh from your door. Woke up this morning, had them streets were blue. Up this morning, had them streets were blue. Down the door in the corner, Grandma seemed to have them too. looking, baby, but you know I'm so angels. I'm going to the country. Where do you wanna go? Well, you know I can't take you, baby. Your sister Lucille says she wanna go.
Greg Allman, Taj Mahal, and Chris Stapleton. Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Hey, come back in a few minutes. We're going to log off of this stream. We'll be back in 45. Kick back, grab that glass. Hey, Bruce J. Like I said, we're going to end this stream, but come right back. Okay? For Sunday Night Gold. Yours truly, WB and the Jazzy Diva.
Uncle John from your door.